Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly no means least, Mr. Graeme Kincaid.
Thank you. Gareth did list the essential requirements for any best man. One essential requirement that Gareth did have was somebody of his own height. But sadly, the majority of the 10 or 11-year-olds weren't able to make a speech, so he had to choose me. But yeah, I hadn't even written that bit. But so I'll start with good evening, Pastor, bridegroom, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else. I just want to start. I want to say, I just think it's absolutely wonderful. I think everything's been wonderful. And I just think it's done such a great job. And I think if everyone could just give a real big round of applause for our people. Thank you, because I really needed that affirmation that I've done so well, so thank you for that. Well, I've known Gareth for 10 years or so. I'm self-employed, I've known him for 10 years, and I've got to be honest, not that much has changed. I mean, back then, me, Philip, and Gareth were all 5'2" and a waist size 26. And the only real change is now me and Philip are 5'10" and a waist size 32. But I do, on a slightly more serious, but not too serious note, I feel privileged to be standing here. Because a mere 5 years ago, I was nearly partially responsible for the breakup of Gareth. Me and Gareth were on a beach missions team, and we were down south, and Anna was staying in well, the cook was a female, so they had to stay in the church hall. No beds, no anything, beside a graveyard, a massive graveyard. Well, me and Gareth stayed in a house with a bed, a shower, a bath, a cooked breakfast in the morning, that kind of thing. And then the last night, myself and Gareth decided to creep round to the girls' quarters. And Gareth had a chain that he locked his car up, so we got on the roof with the chain, and we started to shake the chain. We got some stones, and we bounced the stones down the roof. And then accidentally left the window open in the bathroom, so we threw something through the window of the bathroom and made a thud. We ran past screaming, and at this stage, we didn't realise that the girls had actually from the Garda. And there was actually one of the German girls was standing with a rolling pin, ready to come out and attack us. And the next morning, Anna and Leanne as well were sitting there, and they were, it wasn't you that came round last night. And I was all up for lying, but Gareth, realising that he was in enough trouble, probably sensibly said, eventually, well, yeah, it was us. And I've never seen a look so angry. Such a beautiful girl look so angry ever before. So I am glad that I am here. But on a much more serious note, things like these do remind me why I'm thankful to have Gareth as a friend. Growing up as a teenager, he was always someone that I could look up to. Obviously not in the actual look up to sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. And I'll always have good memories of Gareth and Anna leading YL. They used to put on these Christmas pantomimes. And Gareth, knowing I was a bit of an actor, and I was also such a good friend, he always thought, I'm going to get Graeme to play the best roles. So my first pantomime, I was an ugly sister. And then second, was really the climax of my acting career. I was a camp narrator in Beauty and the Beast or something like that there. And it was really, but then we got our revenge. Because one day we had a fancy dress party for New Year's Eve, and Gareth turned up as Peter Pan. Okay, the boy who never grows up. Okay, so he's in this full costume, but I promise you, he says he's going to grow up from today on. Yesterday morning, I do say very early, I was still in bed, I got a text saying, last day of freedom. I won't tell you what I replied and what he replied, but the last day of freedom, so he promised me from today forth that he's going to grow up. Internally, of course. Okay, when we went to get our suits fitted, we walked into Gowdy's, and the guy was a little bit exuberant, and we walked in and he goes, oh, I can just tell exactly what you're here for. And I was like, oh, right. And he goes, school formal. And Gareth thinking, oh, I'm going to teach him a lesson. Gareth sort of cocks his throat and goes, actually, I'm here for my wedding. Okay, and he says it in his deep voice, and the guy just looks so embarrassed. But we tried it, and you'll all agree that this is a pretty impressive school formal. And the bridesmaids, I was told how to say this, the bridesmaids look absolutely lovely. I did write this before I got here, but in my defence, I did see them in the rehearsal, and they looked lovely then before they were even planned up, so I knew they could only look even more Lovely. And Gareth looked very handsome, and I don't think anybody would disagree. And I would comment on what Anna looks like, but Gareth's sitting far too close, and I fear for my own health, so I'm not going to say anything. But you're both lovely together, and you always are, and I think you're going to be a great couple. And I think most of the majority of the people here can't wait to see the photographs of Anna at 6 a.m. in the pitch black with her overalls on in the milking parlour of the cows. And Fred and Beth, if you're worried about Gareth not loving your daughter, you certainly don't have to worry. When we went on the stag party, Gareth had to take regular trips to the toilet just so he could text his bride-to-be. And it gets worse. When we were sitting in the church this morning, the suspense of, I wonder if she's going to turn up, was defeated by the fact that they were texting each other from the front row of the church. But it does just show how much they love each other. And I think they're going to be great together. So if you could join me, raise your glasses to two good people, two good friends, and one good couple. So take your feet and join me in a toast to the bride and groom. The bride and groom.